What's good, y'all? What's up with it? Ow! It's your girl, Pop.
And I'm Joanna, but you can call me Joe.
Hey y'all, I'm Sierra, and you're tuned into Girl, Let Me Tell You.
Girl, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about the importance of sisterhood, enjoyment, self-care, and rest. So I thought it'd be fun if I start with a little question of the day. So, ladies, what are 3 things that you can't live without? Non-negotiable, gotta have it. Sierra, start us off.
Oh, okay, start with me. All right, y'all. So I'm going to say the 3 things I can't live without is laughter, water, and music.
Not water.
No, literally. Okay.
Y'all,
That's your thing. That's your thing. Honey, I need to laugh. I need to smile. I need to have a good time. So laughter, and I laugh at almost everything. Y'all know I'll be just kikiing.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say laughter because that was definitely on my list. Probably Jeremiah, my child, because y'all, when I'm not with him, I'll be like, where is he at? And something else I can't live without. It's probably Jesus.
Yes.
High five, Jesus.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's
I feel
my
that.
3.
I feel that Jesus is definitely on my list. He's number 1. Can't live without God. I gotta have him. I also need me time. Like, that's non-negotiable for me. I'm a homebody. I'm an introvert. Like, I like hanging out with myself because I'm a good time. So I need that time to myself. And also, I can't live without my sisters too. My 2, Jada and Jordan. Shout out to y'all. They're my best friends. I love them. Can't live without them. So those are my 3 things.
Okay. I ain't mad at it.
What's up? Nice.
This girl said my me time.
I gotta listen.
Do you?
Listen. I be seeing people going out and things, and I'm like, that's fine. But for me, I'm gonna stay at the house. Okay, I like being over here. It's a good time. It's a good time over here.
So just like she said, we are going to be trying to talk about the importance of different things that are kind of major to us right now. So on the lines of sisterhood, I would love to know what your definition of a sister is, what that looks like for you, and kind of like, should it be an accountability thing? Should it be like a relational thing? Like, what does sisterhood look like to you? What's your definition of it?
I'll go first because I called out Sierra last time, so we'll balance it. For me, sisterhood is all about growth. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I feel like if I can't learn anything from you, if we can't grow together, then that's not a sisterhood for me. Because I'm really big on being able to pour into people and have them pour into me. Because I feel like I'm a person that likes to give, and give. But I don't always get that back. So when I do, I feel like that's a solid sisterhood for me. So for me, it's all about growth.
That's an interesting take. I'm actually not mad at that because a lot of people don't even think about friendships and sisterhood in a way of like how they can grow. And so I appreciate that answer for sure.
So for me, I'm going to like go the accountability route because those 2 words, accountability and sisterhood, are like very strong words for me. And so it's just like not being afraid to go deep into each other's life and things like that. And so for me, very 2 simple things, just trust and love and things like that. So just being a safe haven. I know that's like one of my favorite words, but it's just like just being able to trust someone to go deep into your life, to know the things that maybe everyone else does not know, and things like that. And just it's just a deeper level of understanding.
Okay.
Okay, I can dig it. I think for me, one of the biggest aspects of sisterhood is support. Like, I grew up in a family that we support each other, whether you're playing a sport, whether it's a birthday party, if like a family member is having a graduation thing and 3 states away, we're going to support them. We're going to go, we're going to get a gift. We're going to do what we can to be there for that person. And so for me, when I think of like a sister, I think of someone that is supportive of me, supportive of my endeavors, supportive of just like my own lifestyle. Like if I can call you up and be like, girl, I'm about to start a business. I don't want you to be like, for what? You know, I don't want her to be like, oh, you are? Bet, I'm buying. Where's the website?
Sign me up.
Help.
Yeah.
Like, sign me up. You know, like, what can I do to help you out? Like that supportive kind of like mindset is something that for me just kind of automatically is like, no, that's a sister. Because like all your friends ain't gonna support you all the time.
Exactly. There is a difference for sure. And I feel like with a sister, you can feel the difference. Like you can always feel when somebody is, you know, being more of a sister to you than a friend. Because like that support is a big thing. Like if you have a business, I'm gonna reshare, I'm commenting, I'm buying, like you can feel that love. But if I don't get that like genuineness from you, then I'm okay. I'm gonna categorize you as a friend. Like I can tell that you're probably not here for a long time, more like a good time. You know what I'm saying? So there definitely is a difference. But how do you know the difference? Like how can you tell the difference between a sisterhood and a friendship? Tiara, what do you think? And we mentioned accountability. Like where does accountability fall into that? Like is it even a sisterhood without accountabiliability? Like what do you think?
Now with that question, I will say I don't think it's a sisterhood without accountability. Because if you're not holding your sister up to a certain standard or a certain level, then like, is she really your sister? You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how I see it in general. Like, whereas friends, they'll let you wild out. They'll let you go act crazy, get yourself in all these crazy predicaments. But a sister would be like, that's not what we want. Like we want better for ourselves. You should want better for you. And so I think on an accountability standpoint, it cannot be a sisterhood if there's not some shape, form, or fashion of accountability in your lifestyle and your choices, decisions, something.
Right. Yeah, I think there's accountability. Agree. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, it's not you.
Okay, I was just gonna say I think there's accountability in both, but there's like levels to it. It looks a lot different. Like I have a sister, someone who I would consider as a sister, and she's always calling me like, hey, did you read your word today? Or like, did you pray today? I know we talked about this last time. How's that going? For me, that's a sisterhood. And it may not be like, we don't kick it all the time. I may not talk to you all the time, but you're my sister. I got your back and you got my back, you know?
So I definitely feel y'all, like, it's just different levels. Like, it's just different surface levels. Like a friend doesn't know everything that a sister knows. A friend hasn't been through everything a sister has been through. They haven't seen you in certain moments. Like, it's a different level. It's a different level.
You know what? That actually just kind of put some on my mind. There's levels to it. Okay. And we need to figure out what situations are giving friend, which ones are giving sister. So I think it's time to play a little game. And it's called It's Giving. Okay, y'all. So for this game, basically, we're going to give you a scenario, and then we're going to decide if the situation is giving friend, giving sister, or giving neither. Okay. So I'm going to go first, and let me set the scene. This is actually going to be a question about if I was giving friend or if I was giving sister in this moment. Okay. So in undergrad, I started a group on campus. The president of this group, she was the founder of it. It was her idea. It was her thing. And we had an exec board full of girls, women, encouraging women. It was a great time. Well, throughout the semester, the president of the organization just was not pulling her weight. I don't think she's ever really been in a leadership position. So she wasn't really able to tell us what she needed or what we needed to do. And so a lot of the work fell on me. We had different events where she wouldn't bring her like one thing that she needed to bring, but she would always just put her name on successful things and flyers and things like that. And so finally I was like, girl, we need to have a sit down. We need to talk. Like, we can't keep doing this. Like, yes, you thought about this organization. Yes, you brought it up, but there's different ways for you to grow in being a leader, for you to grow in being like the voice of the organization, you know? And so there was just kind of like a sit down moment where I was like, hey, like as a president organization, we really need you to do this, do this, do this. And let's see if we can make this better for all of us. And it was kind of like a moment where like we didn't talk for a little bit, and I don't know, like I can come off a little strong sometimes, but it was really all out of love, because like I wanted her to have that experience to be like the president of the organization and really kind of grow in that. And then we had like this really, really big event at the end of the semester. She pulled her weight. She brought her own, blah, blah, blah. It went really, really great. And she ended up coming up to me and she was like, hey, sorry, I've been distant, but I just want to say I appreciate you, like basically calling me out on that. Like I learned a lot. It's been a great semester. Let's keep growing. Let's keep getting better. And I was like, it's all love. I'm glad that you feel this way. Da, da, da. So basically this is gist of the scenario and the situation. Was I giving friend, or was I giving sister, or was I giving neither? What do you think?
Sierra, go first.
I'm giving friend, but it is a strong friend. Okay, very good friend. And I say so just because of the level of business. And so it was just trying to help someone out in the business sector and things like that. And so I would just say you were looking out for this person and things like that. And it was a really good friend.
Okay. Interesting that you say that. I kind of have to disagree. For me, it's giving sister. Because for me, like what you did, it was all out of love. And I think that's something a sister would do. For me, I would have expected you to do that. You know, if I were like, you know, lacking in an area, or if you, for me, you saw the potential in that person and you helped them get a solution. Like, I'm going to try to help you reach the potential that I see in you. So for me, that's giving sister, because that's what I expect from a sister. That's what I need in a sisterhood. I mentioned earlier, we were talking about growth. That's growth for me. So it's giving sister.
Okay. Cool. Well, I appreciate
what do you think you were giving? Like, do you think you were giving sister? Do you think you were giving friend?
I think I was giving like, maybe like a strong friend.
So I guess I'll go next. And so this person was someone who was very confident. She knew who she was. She walked in that like it was all good. And so me at the time, being a more shy person, I just naturally gravitated towards that personality. And so from there, you know, we hung out. Like I met her family. We would go to church together. Like she was helping me like strengthen my backbone and gain confidence. And I mean, even the things that she did back then, like it had a lasting effect to even to me today now. And so during that time, we had really big miscommunication, like probably one of the biggest ones I've ever gone through. And so in that, I was like, okay, well, as homies, like we're going to fix this. Like that's what we do. And so I just pursued that. And so I was like, you know, I did what I had to do. I apologized, you know, tried to communicate. But her reaction was like totally left field. It was rude. I didn't know where it was coming from. It just wasn't expected. And I was just like, whoa, as homies, like, this is not what I was expecting. But to reel it in, we did make up from that. We continued to be friends. But this go round, it was just like a little shaky. And then to end that story, we are no longer in communication. And so I don't know, like, do you all think that that was a lost sisterhood because of the lasting impact, or it was just possibly like a God-given placement in my life for what I needed, and it was just like a cool friendship that had its time and passed on?
So for me, that's giving sister. And I'm going to tell you why. It's giving sister because even if it was like a short-term sister, because like you said, like the effects were long lasting. You were in a growth moment. You guys really did have that bond and that relationship at that time. So I'm going to say it's giving sister because I mean, there's still people in my life that I'm not communicating with right now, but at a certain point in my life, they were a sister to me and they did help me grow in different aspects. And I still count that as a sisterhood in that time. So you might not be like close now, but I definitely would say that like for that situation in that time, you were a sister and that was a sisterhood, but just like short-term sisterhood.
Okay. I'm going to disagree again. To me, I think it's giving friend. Just because I feel like the way people respond in certain situations says a lot about like their character, like who they are as a person. And I feel like kind of the same thing as what Poppy said, just the opposite. I feel like it was a friendship for that time. It's giving more like, this is just like an assignment, like me and this person are supposed to be here for right now, and it's not a long lasting thing. So I think it was more of a strong friendship for the time being than a sisterhood. I will go last. So this is my scenario. I met this person in college, and immediately we became super close, like literally attached at the hip. We hung out every single day. We were just super close. But once the pandemic hit, everyone had to go home, so we moved out of the dorms. And basically we grew apart. And so during the pandemic, I was doing a lot of reflecting, and I started to realize, like, I started noticing some of the character traits that she had, like afterward. So some of those things, like sometimes she would be mad shady towards me. Like I never felt like I could be super comfortable around her. She always made me feel like myself was just a little bit too much at times. And like, I just felt like I was never able to be 100% myself with this person. But like now that I'm like reflecting on it, I don't know, like, was that like a sisterhood at the time? Was it more of like a friendship at the time? So like what do you guys think? What is it giving?
What is it giving?
Look at your face. Is it giving sister or friend? Like I feel like those traits that I'm noticing now, I didn't see back then, because it was just like, wow, this is a new friend and we're really close, like blah blah blah. I was just blinded by like, I guess the sisterhood of it all, or like just I don't
friendship
know.
Phase.
So,
Honeymoon phase,
the friendship.
Yeah.
So like what do you guys think?
Sierra, what you think?
It's giving neither.
It's giving neither. Thank you.
It was not giving neither.
It was I can't feel like myself around this person. Yeah. Neither. It's giving neither.
Yeah. I feel like I'm at that point now. I'm trying to like evaluate, like, do I cut you off? Yeah, but we don't get into that. But that was a really fun game. I really enjoyed that. I hope y'all tuning in enjoyed it as well. Hope you played along and got into it. But now it's giving game over. It's giving game over. Okay, so we started the podcast off with our own definitions of sisterhood. What does that look like for us? But now I wanted to give y'all the definition of enjoyment, since that's another thing we're going to be talking about. So by dictionary, enjoyment, first thing, is the state or process of taking pleasure in something, as in entertainment, even comfort or relaxation. The next thing is the action of possessing and benefiting from something, as in ownership, blessing, favor, amen, won't he do it. So Poppy, you're a working woman. You work a lot. I imagine you've had to learn how to, make that balance and find some enjoyment in your work. So what has that been like for you?
Girl, what has it been like? Girl, let me tell you. It's been tough. Mm-hmm. Like, we've all been through the pandemic, right? But the way that my transition went from college student, fun living, no worries, besides being a broke college student, to the pandemic, pregnant, graduating, 9 months pregnant, and immediately getting a job in a pandemic, going to work and being a mom. Like that transition was literally wild. I'm still recovering from it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so there was actually a lot of days when I would be at work from 8 to 5, come home, be with Jeremiah till he goes to sleep. I was like, this is a lot. And there was a lot of moments where I was like, I'm just not enjoying this. I don't like this. I don't want to be here right now. Like, it was just like, why is this every single day the same thing? Like, I'm going to work, I'm talking to people all day, I'm coming home. And then one day I just really had to like figure out what part of my job, what part of my life brings me enjoyment. Where can I find that enjoyment in the mundane daily task of being a working mom, right? And so at work, I realized like I've prayed for this job a lot. I was worried about this job a lot. I was like really talking to the Lord one day, like, this is what I want to do. And it was crazy for me to have that moment of realization of like, this is the one thing that I wanted to do, that I prayed for. It's sitting right in front of me. I'm living it every day. And I'm not enjoying this. I'm not growing from this. I'm not learning from this. And so it's almost kind of like a mindset shift of having to look at your mundane daily task as like, this is my life. This is fun. I enjoy this. I'm learning from this. What part of my job is bringing me that feeling? And of course, Jeremiah is just, he's a ball of fun, but being a mom is not easy, you know? And so there's just always that give and take, those up and downs. But this little dude can do one thing and I will be cracking up like, dude, you are hilarious. Like, he's hilarious. And so I think it's so important for us, especially after living in a pandemic where you have been sitting in the house and doing absolutely nothing, trying to keep yourself busy. When you are busy with the mundane task of life, to be thankful for that, because it can literally be stripped away from you. Like, we've all experienced it with the pandemic. It can be stripped away. And so there has to be some type of moment where you kind of revel in the opportunity and the kind of life that you have, because not everybody has that life. And the moment that I'm in right now, like this specific moment, this podcast, these are things that I have prayed about and I've been looking forward to and have been wanting to do. And I need to go back to that moment where I was like, dang, 3 months ago, I was just envisioning what a podcast would be like. And now I'm here, I'm living it, you know? And so I think it's really easy for us to kind of forget those tidbits about life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that deserve lots of snaps. That's really good. That's a word.
Well, thank you. Really. Thank you. But I mean, I'm balancing a lot, right? And so I just want to hear kind of like your perspective, Joanna, on, because you are still a college student. Like, my college just got stripped away from me and I just got into the real world, but you're still in college, you're balancing that. So like, what does enjoyment look like for you?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit it on the head. You kind of talked about some things that I was going to cover, but I feel like with the pandemic, kind of like you said, comes a mindset shift. And so for me, obviously we all had to be in quarantine. In quarantine, what is that? Isolation, solitude. So for me, I've had to learn the importance of enjoying your solitude. And I think I want to be clear though, solitude for me, one thing that I've learned is solitude does not always mean loneliness. You know, I think people think just because I'm on my own doesn't mean that I'm alone. You know what I'm saying? For one, I know that God is always with me for sure. And I've had to learn that honestly the hard way, being in this season, like the past 2 years, it really just has been me and God just kicking it. And I think that's kind of forced me to get to know him better so that I could get to know myself better. And of course, like, you better speak. And of course, like me being a college student, moving away from home, I live 2 hours away. Like, I'm paying my rent, I'm paying for my car. I have a cat and she's a hot mess. Like, I'm doing all these things and I'm having to make all these adjustments. So I'm learning that solitude, it can be a good thing if you make it a good thing. Like you said, Poppy, it's all about a mindset. It's all about your mindset. God is teaching me so much this year. For me, perspective is a big thing. And like I said earlier, I'm a good time. I like to be by myself. Okay. And I feel like God was like, okay, you like to be on your own? I'm gonna put you on your own and let's see how you do, you know. But I want you to get to know me more so that you can see the potential that you have, because I see it in you, you know. So that's what I feel like I've been learning, like enjoying your solitude, being by yourself. And I feel like with that too comes enjoying like being in your youth. Like, I'm young, so I have time, but what I do with my time is very important. So
you better speak.
Yes, what I do right now is so important. I'm only 21. Like, I have all my life ahead of me. All the fun and stuff can come down the road. But right now I'm focusing on me. I'm focusing on God. I'm working. I like this little bubble that I have going on. I think there's nothing wrong with that, you know. So that's what I've been learning. Sierra, what do you think about all these gems we just dropped on you?
No, because it's a lot of gems. They just coming at your full speed, baby. I hope y'all listening to this. I hope y'all taking notes on the podcast. Listen, y'all better be taking
for real. Like, what y'all said, my goodness, like, I really love what both of you all said, and I can feel like people can relate to that in many ways, whether they're like in their college career, whether they're a mother, a new mother, whether, you know, they're in their career and things like that. I think that's it's very relatable, and people need to talk about that more. Enjoying life, not just doing, you know, your everyday routine just to get by, just to pay a bill, just to graduate. And so I literally loved what you all said. And so with that, y'all know that we have to talk about rest and self-care. Yes. So you have to slide into a little game right now. So
okay, we slide.
Grab your notepads, grab a dry erase board, because we're going to play this game together. Okay, y'all. So the title of this game is Never Have I Ever, Self-Care and Rest. So the rules of this game is I'm going to just read a list of things of have you ever or have you not ever. And you just put I have or I have not. All right. And so we're just going to see, are you taking care of yourself or is you not? All right, y'all. So you ready? You ready, sisters?
Ready.
I'm ready. We ready, girl. We ready.
Get into this gig.
Okay. All right. Now here's the first one.
Okay.
So have you ever or never have I ever deemed or blocked out 2+ days for self-care days only?
I have.
I have, girl. I got to.
No, literally. Literally.
I have to. That goes back to the me time at the beginning. I gotta have that. Non-negotiable.
Nice. And mine might be odd sounding, but I need a break, and then I need a break from my break. Like I need to recharge from my break. You know what I mean? It's like vacation. I'm just throwing this out there right quick. Vacation when it's just like, okay, well, I'm going to come back Sundays and go to work Monday. Not me. Like I take off Monday. So you're going to see me on
That's
Tuesday.
Smart.
That is smart.
That actually makes a lot of sense because I'm always like so tired after vacation.
Right?
Like that was cute, but why am I so sleepy? Like I need a vacation from my vacation.
Okay. I'm about to start doing that.
The way you think.
Yeah, I'm about to start doing that too.
Yeah,
look, I'm just saying, I have
Monday.
not done that before, but I'm going to start.
Nah. Going to start. I need another one. Going to start.
Yeah, literally.
All right, y'all. Okay, so for the second one, never have I ever been to the lake for self-care.
I have
not.
What? Y'all playing?
What?
The lake?
Yes,
the lake is so fun.
Outside.
What? There's literally a lake like 30 minutes from here. I've went out there before just to sit. I packed my little lunch, my little snack, and I was just having me a grand old time at the lake. It was fun.
Well, see, I'm not a big outside
what's the face?
person.
What's the face?
I'm not a big
lake?
outside person. Okay, so Poppy, this is Poppy speaking. Not a big outside person. I don't really like to sweat. Don't like bugs. Don't like none of that. So I do not go to the lake for self-care. No, ma'am.
Okay, y'all. So we're gonna move on to number 3. So never have I ever had like a full spa day. So a full spa day includes like a massage, your nails, your feet done, maybe like a little facial going on.
I have, baby.
I have not. Girl, tell us about that. Tell us about that.
It's literally amazing. I wish I could do it more often. But okay, so I went on a cruise, I guess like 2 months ago. And I went to this like event that they had like check out the spa. And they gave us like a really like discount deal on like a full spa day. So my last day on the ship, like for 3-4 hours, I was just at the spa. I had a full body massage, facial, scalp massage, nails, y'all. This scalp massage is better than you think. It's a lot better than you think. Because I was like, I don't want nobody all up in my head like that. Now, hold on. And then she got up in there and I was like, girl, keep going. That feels good.
That sounds so luxurious.
It was very nice. I was so relaxed, y'all. Like I came up out of that spa and I was like, I am just floating right now. Cloud 9.
Well, I love that for you. Maybe I should go on a cruise and
definitely
get that discount and try that sometime.
Never say never.
All right, y'all. So we're going to move on to the next one. So never have I ever went out of state for self-care.
I have.
Yeah,
we all have. Okay,
I love that for us.
Quick story times. Where'd you go? Why?
Okay. Most recently, or just recently, like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I went to Atlanta to see my friend, my sister girl, and we saw Kirk Franklin in Maverick City in concert. We had brunch, we talked, we laughed, we went shopping. It was amazing. I took off of work. Like Sierra said, I took off that Monday because, girl, I was just not here for it. It was so much fun. The concert, 10 out of 10, recommend. Loved it.
Loved it.
Cool. What about you, C?
Dallas, like usually normally like my self-care days are self-care days, because we're gonna use words, are in Dallas. And so I just be going different places, man. Like things that I haven't done before. It's just whatever, really. Like whatever I'm feeling, I'm just gonna do. And that's normally Dallas, Texas.
Yes. Love that.
I usually when I went to school out of state, I would go home for self-care. So when I would get like overwhelmed at school, homework, stuff like that, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to Texas. Bye, y'all. I'm going. And I would just drive home. Now in adult life, it's definitely like, I'm going to actually take a trip.
All right, y'all. Okay, y'all. So I hope y'all taking notes on some of the stuff that y'all haven't done, because you're saying some good stuff. So y'all branch out. Okay, y'all. So for our next one, never have I ever turned off my phone for at least 14 hours in a 24-hour day.
I have not.
Never. Who does that?
Never?
You have?
I can't. 14 hours though?
No.
14 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
like
how, when, why?
Yeah, like okay, so here's a little cheat code. I pray before I do that. So I'm just like, Lord, watch over my friends, watch over my family. If anything happens, like speak to me, like, you know, I need to turn my phone back on. But so after that, I it's not like turn off, like, you know, swipe turn off. It's just like do not disturb plus silence. And so that's just what I do. Like, it's not like tucked anywhere. Like I can see it if it glows or something like that.
Is that just for when you like need to get into something like work or the word, or just like, I'm not feeling my phone, I'm just going to put it over here?
It comes from different places. So like sometimes it's work, if it's just been overwhelming and like constant. Sometimes it's like with family and friends, just like if, you know, I've poured into them kind of a lot, things like that. I just, you know, take a little break and just kind of refill, refocus and things like that. But that's mostly where it comes from, just kind of like when I've just been pouring a lot, you know, in any aspect. All right, y'all. So we are going to reel it in. Okay. And this will be our last and final question. And personally, one of my favorites, because I think some people struggle with this one. Uh-oh. So never have I ever, or I have said no and left it at that for self-care.
I have not.
I'm sort of have.
This one hits home for me. I like that this one is last because it hits home for me. I feel like all my life I've been such a yes man. Like, I like for people to know that I'm there for them. I like for them to feel supported. And if I'm being honest, I have been okay with not getting that back. Just as long as I'm able to help you out or like help this person, help that person. For a while, it didn't matter to me that maybe they weren't, you know, reciprocating that energy. So I have a hard time saying no. I'm like, feel like I'm just now getting into like, you know, making it a habit for myself, but I have a hard time saying no, but we're getting better. We're practicing, we're learning, you know? So yeah. Poppy, what do you think?
So I'm working on saying no and not giving an explanation as to why I'm saying no. Like I can just say no and be done. But like I'm always like, no, I don't think we should do. No, I feel like maybe we should know. Quit explaining yourself, Poppy. You can say no. That's no. And so I think that's what I'm working on now is saying no and being firm in that and knowing that it's okay to say no.
Yeah, I'm still working on that. And I've learned too that a no can literally save your life. Like we're talking about self-care. That's a necessity. You have to take that time for yourself. And if you're not, you're giving everybody room to have a say so in what you're doing. Everybody's playing a part in your life and it's no longer self-care. It's like caring for everybody but yourself, you know? Yep. So save yourself and say no and just leave it at that, period. Love that.
You don't need no explanations.
I love it.
None.
I love it. All right,
that was really fun.
Well, that was the end of that game. So that was our part 1 of our Never Have I Ever self-care and rest edition, y'all. So give it up for yourselves. Clap for yourselves. Being open and vulnerable. We did that. It happened. You got some good ideas. So, all right, y'all.
Well, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. It's for all the listeners and watchers out there. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you so much more than you know.
And you know, the conversations do not stop here. So we will be back bi-weekly on Fridays at noon. But in the meantime, connect with us, follow us on our social media, on our Instagram.
Yep. And of course, you know, you can tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube at Girl, Let Me Tell You Podcast. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in with us. And we will see y'all next time on
Girl, Let Me Tell You.
Let me tell you.